All right, hello everybody. This is the game Shock. We are Rafael and Joel Escalante from Mexico, the game designers. And we are here in Spiel presenting our game with the company Steffen Spiele and Helvetic. So the idea of the game is that each player has some pieces, wooden pieces of fishes and sharks. Each player will have his own color, and they will be playing alternative, trying to connect a group of 10 pieces of your color to win. So you have two options in your turn. You can place two fishes and they must be adjacent. And the other option is to play a shark. For example, if the player with the black pieces decides to play a shark like this, it will eat the two pieces of the white player. So some sharks can eat up to 3 pieces and some only up to 2, but they always must take at least 1 piece out. All right, so let's make some turns examples. So I can play with the white pieces and place 2 fish. So you can go.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, the other player can go something like this, and then the white player can decide to use a shark and take these 2 pieces out. Then it will be the black player's turn, can place like that. White player can place like this. And black player also can use a shark, for example, and take these 2 pieces out, like that. So once the shark pieces are in the board, they will stay there, they cannot be taken out. All right, so white player can use some, put some fishes here. Black player can go something like this. And then white player can decide to use a bigger shark to place it here and take these 2 fishes out and the one below, so the total of 3 pieces are going out. Then it's turn of the black player again. And the game will continue until a player can do a connected group. Let's make an example. In the future turns here, the white player can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and in another turn he places something like this. He will have the 10 pieces, 2, 4, 10 pieces connected, and that will win him the game.
Okay. So, Tea Garden is our new game. It's a deck building game. It's a Euro style game where the aim of the game is to collect as much points as possible. In the game you have lots of things to do. You have primary actions, so you can collect the tea, you can place the tea gardens on the board. You can improve your deck by new cards. You can study tea at the university. You can level up on the Emperor's part of the game. And the game itself, it's for 5 rounds. And at the end of the game, you count the points, and whoever has the most wins. Except of the main actions, you have also secondary actions. So you can move on the river to collect some points. You can collect the cups again to get some benefits, and you can go to the university, as I mentioned before, and you can also use some free actions. The game is quite easy to learn, but master to really find the proper way to be the best in the game. Atoll is a tableau building game. It's also our new game. It's coming from the contest, the authors contest in Czech Republic. We organized, and as I mentioned, it's a tableau building game where you create your own ecosystem based on the corals and animals. All the time you need to place the coral first and then the animals. And you are trying to increase the population of the animals placed on the table, so you're increasing the level of them. And anytime you level on the top level, you get a fish scale, which is important currency in the game, and you also score the winning points. But also you need to place a fatigue token on your cards. That means you cannot use them anymore. So until the round ends, and after maintenance phase, when you get rid of the fatigue, you can continue. So each player create his own ecosystem, which animals that interact among each other and bring the points at the end. Karak II Imperium is expansion for Karak II. It brings to the game some new tiles, some new heroes, some new monsters, but the probably biggest change for the game is that it brings a role of emperor for one of the players. So in the game, players compete who will be the emperor. They have this fight, and whoever wins becomes the emperor. It means some benefits for him, but also some duties for him. So, for example, if emperor builds a building, he needs to build one building also for one of the players. And on the other hand, if players build some building, they need to get one resource to the emperor as well. In this game, also players are allowed to fight against each other, which is not allowed in the Karak II base game. Witchdom is our new deck building game. It's a €20 game and brings you quite a lot of fun, because you play or the aim of the game is to create the big clan of the Witchers, and you also in the game brew the potions. That's the way how you can score points. The game is very easy to play because you have witches in your hand. Anytime you play it, on the card it shows you a number and region. A number means that you take some resources or some cards from that region, so from the mountain, forest or the river. Anytime you take a witch, it goes immediately to your hand. So game is pretty fast because you can use immediately the cards and play them. If you take a potion, you later collect the ingredients, and if you have a proper witch, you brew the potion. That means you score the points. The game ends when all the quests are fulfilled, so then you count the points and you win. There is also a set collection part of the game, because if you turn around the card with the witches, there is animal. There are different kind of animals, so you can score points for this at the end. This game has also its solo mode, that you play against the queen of the evil. So yep, that's Witchdom. Nutventure is our new game for the youngest kids. The game is very simple, and the aim of the game is to collect the nuts. So you start with your squirrel on the top, and you have 4 dice. You roll dice, and it shows you the movement. The colors are the movement, so you can move always accordingly the colors. If you don't use all the colors, you trigger the other animals that are on the game, which is owl and fox, and these are bad for squirrels because they are afraid of them. So anytime that they are approaching you, you need to hide on the top of the tree. The aim of the game is to collect the nuts. Nuts has different scoring points, so it's 1 or 2, and whoever collect 4 of them ends the game, and everybody finish the turn, and they collect the points, and whoever has the most wins. So sometimes even somebody who didn't occupy all slots but has some more points can win the game. The game is really for children from 6, 7 years, and they are planning the moves, rolling the dice, and having fun with squirrels and other enemies. Save the Treasure is also our new game for kids. The aim of the game is to collect the treasures from the bottom of the sea. You have one dice in this game. Should be somewhere. Here it is. You roll dice, and the number shows you a number of moves you have. At the beginning of the game, you start on the boat, and for example, this is number 1. Number 2 is that I'm moving this elevator. Number 3, I collect the treasure, and I go back to the boat, trying to save the treasure. Because if there is symbol of the pirates on the dice, pirates are approaching the boat. Once they approach the boat, the game ends, and players count the treasures, and whoever has the most points wins. Very easy game. Karak Goblin Nexus is an expansion for Karak Goblin, which is a card game for a very popular game called Karak. And this game brings new cards, new enemies, and other components for the base game, which brings more interaction and different playing activities in the game.
Okay, so this is very much a prototype. What you see, it is a big box, so it's like a storage solution for all of your Arnak stuff. So it's going to be the base game, you can put in there your expansions, everything. And because the designers didn't want to ship just an empty box, they also created some new content for the base game. So it's going to be a double-sided map. So this side and the other side of the back, which we don't have here yet, which adds some new ways to do the research track. It adds some new components like the black tablets, which basically is like a cursed tablet. So you want to use it, but at the end of the game, for how many of those collectively have been used, then you're going to lose points individually for what you have used. So you want to take advantage of it, but not too much because you're losing points. And there's going to be, this board is supposed to add some more interaction in the game. And it's very much a prototype, as you see. We don't know when it's going to be released, but when the designers are happy with it, we're going to announce a date next year at some point. So that's all we have to show for now.
Hello. This is Flower Fields, a puzzle game by Luca Bellini and Luca Borsa. The goal of the game is to pick tiles from this market and place them on your board, Tetris style, let's say, so you have to fit the shapes. Your goal is to create big areas of flowers of the same colors and put bees inside of them to make points, because the bigger the area and the more bees there are, the more points you make. It's a very quick game with easy rules, but with a lot of depth. So it's like that middleweight game for people
for family,
who, yes, family friendly, but also thinking people friendly, let's say. Then we have Spotlight, which is a much more family game, because you can play with the kids from ages 6 and up. It's the game with the lowest age we ever made, but it has this very nice gimmick where you have one card that tells you which character you have to look for, and then you have this, each player has a board where you move this stick that illuminates the board with a simple but magic feeling effect. And for example, we have to look for this sausage man here, and there's one here. Then we have another one there. And there's one swimming here in the lake. So each player is doing this at the same time. You have a send timer that tells you how much time you have. When you think you are done, you set on the dial the number you think you have seen. Everybody does this, then you reveal it. Then you look at the solution, and if you found less than the solution, you move your pawn forward. The amount of space is equal to the stars you have here. If you have found the exact number, you also get a bonus +1. But if you found wrongly more, you don't move, and this is a problem, because then you also look at the moon icons here on the card, and you roll the die, which also has moon icons, And the number of moon icons is the number of spaces that the moon pawn moves forward. And if the moon catches one of the players, the game is over. So you want all players to find as many characters as possible to keep ahead of the moon and complete a lap without getting caught. This is Spotlight. And then we have the newest deck in the Similo series, which is Jurassic World with dinosaurs. I've been fighting to have a dinosaurs deck for many years. Finally, I did it. And if you already know Similo, you know what to expect. But if somebody does not, there is one card that is the secret card that only one player knows which is. And then the clue giver, that is the player that knows the card, plays other cards to give clues to the other players. If you play them like this, it means I want you to keep cards like this. If you play it in horizontal, it means I want you to remove cards like this. Each clue, after each clue, the other players must discard 1, then 2, then 3, and an increasing number of cards. If they discard the secret card, everybody loses. If not, everybody wins. This is just one actually of the new Similo decks we have this year, because we also have, like in the past few years, a special version for Essen, which is called Similo Board Games 2024, which contains many of the new releases of the fair this year. We have many partners. There's 50 games, something like 50 games inside, and you can get one copy of that deck for free if you purchase a copy of any of the games included in the deck at any of the booths of the partner, like we did last year. And then we have a special edition of Similo with our games, because this year it's our 10th anniversary. So we made a deck with each card is one of our games, and we have all our games inside the deck. And we wanted to do this to celebrate the anniversary, and it's also a limited print. So there's just these many copies, each one is numbered, and then it will never be reprinted, so it's a special thing.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Thanks to you for coming by as usual.
Okay, bye.
Bye.